Hello and welcome to today's Solana video where we will dive into what is going to happen next with the Solana price, whether we will drop down to $200 or rise up until $400. We will reason this with Elliott waves and more tools and give exact price predictions and turning points we are watching out for so you know what you are looking at. So we will use some of this data to further reason why we think things are happening, as well as the liquidation heat map. But firstly, we'll start with the structure because we haven't looked at Solana basically at all, or not at least in a long time. The overall structure is that we think a wave 3 has topped here a big wave 3. Like this is talking big time frame. We're on the daily chart already, and this is like a huge time frame. Wave 3 topped on the 18th of March. Wave 4 topped, bottomed on the 5th of August. And since then, we have seen a wave, I have to draw this again, wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside, a wave 3 to the upside, a deep wave 4, but it's fine. It's not overlapping with the one yet. And now we're probably, in our opinion, in this wave 5 to the upside of this bigger wave 5. What does this mean if we hit this and complete this? It means that this bull market for Solana is finished and we will be seeing a bear market correction which will go incredibly deep. Well, not incredibly deep, but well, if we're looking at where prices are right now, $250 at $255 is probably going to go. I don't know exactly, but they're going to drop like 56% probably, at least with our analysis. And of course, as always, this is not financial advice, it's just our opinion. Looking at what does this mean now more in depth, it means basically, just to sum it up, we're in the last stages of this entire cycle and it's already pretty high risk because there is not much room to grow. And how much room there is to grow and what we think is going to happen next, we will check out at the end of the video, so or later in the video, so make sure you stick around for that. Yeah, but let's look at this data first, and it just looks sort of, well, very confusing, but it's not, trust me, it's basically just whatever I'll show it on this chart. It's basically, if I zoom in from all of this chart, what we're seeing on this is just from here. So we're watching what has happened in the recent few days, basically weeks. And what you can see, I will draw my famous lines from the local low. Well, nothing really has happened. We have seen very little price increase. If we look at open interest actually decreased. Not by a significant amount where you would say, wow, that's cooling down so much, but yeah, it's not an increase, and that is good. Well, prices are increasing. We want that. For spot volume, I will draw a line. We don't really need it because we can see what is happening. Well, nothing. That's not really accurate here. No, it's better. Nothing has happened in spot volume. This is also just spot volume. Ignore that. What we can see on the funding is interesting to me. If I draw a line here as well, if we go to there, funding has basically increased. It wasn't a negative, which is very good, because that means, and it has been negative a lot in the past few days, it means that Solana is basically at a really healthy point. It is not overheated, it is not over leveraged, and for a coin like Solana, that is, to me at least, somewhat surprising, because it basically means, I mean, this is literally has a healthier open interest, so the combination of longs and shorts, than Bitcoin and Ethereum, the biggest coins. Now, what can we tell from this data? Prices are basically consolidating. Saying prices are rising would be kind of unfair here. Well, prices are sort of rising while open interest going down. This is good. This is healthy. Open interest is not at a level that should concern us. And funding is going slightly up. That means more longs in the market while open interest is decreasing. Basically means less and less people are shorting. More and more people are going long. That, however, is not so good if we want prices to go up. That data, but it is at such a small extent that it's not really dangerous yet. Now, let us look at the liquidation heat map, and what do we see here? Well, we see there is a lot of liquidity below us, up until 180. I'm sure if I zoom out further, there will be more to the downside. That doesn't really concern us for now, and there is some liquidity above. Remember what I just said. Less people are shorting, more people are going long. Why is this relevant? Because it could basically just mean that we see a short-term dip. It could mean that we liquidate this area here at $240 to $210. By the way, if you're interested why this is happening, feel free to check out our website. We sell a trading transformation system, amongst other things, where we talk about how you can learn trading and so on. Feel free to check that out. By the time you've seen this video, we might already have a new offer on the website that is very interesting. So make sure you look at it. Now looking at this again, it basically is just telling us there's a lot of liquidity to the downside, which is looking, well, amazingly appetizing if I would be a market maker and I would want to push the prices in some direction. But there's also some liquidity above. Now, what do we think is going to happen next? Let's get to the price prediction. We basically think that we are in this wave 5 of this bull market. So very, very advanced. And now let me add just another dimension of Elliott waves to all of this, because still remember, let me go on the 4-hour time frame. This is usually what we look at in our Bitcoin and Ethereum videos. If we assume this is the wave 4 bottom, then we have seen probably a 1-2 somewhere here, and then this is like a wave 3 up here, 4, 5. Well, it's a bit. I will adjust it for easier visibility. Basically, it is saying that we are currently in a wave 4. This is very typical for a wave 4. This is actually a triangle. I will draw this on the chart with you live, and it's basically telling us that prices will, this is not accurately drawn, of course, you have to slightly adjust it, but it's basically telling us that prices are probably going to break out somewhat soon. By the time you've seen this video, might have already done it, and there is a good chance that we see one more low in a wave 4, but we're still waiting for this wave 5 high that has not happened yet. And if we look at the Fibonacci retracement, and I'm actually just doing this live right now, I've of course done this before, but just doing it live so you can see how I'm doing this. We have touched the bottom more or less of where wave 4 has to go, but it's still possible that we see one more low which goes as low as this or a bit lower. So we are going to watch out for whether prices are going to basically break to $220 level. If they do, we're maybe in for even more downside, and this might already be the wave 5 of the wave 1 of the wave 5. I know that's a bit complicated, but that's just how it is. We have a video explaining how all of this works. Basically, just now saying that there is a possibility for one more low in this area, in this range. We could make another range low and then continue higher, or we go higher from here, from basically this breaking out point. You will probably know by the time you see in this video. So, well, I mean, comment down below how the future is looking, if it's looking good or not. Yeah, that's what we are watching out for. We're probably opening along down here in this region. And yeah, I think that was it for this video. That's a pretty good outlook. We are still a bit bullish on Solana. We still think new highs can happen, but of course, there's a very high risk environment. We're close to the end of the cycle, and we are sort of being a bit careful here because, well, anytime Solana can basically enter its bear market. Again, as I've said, feel free to check out our website, first link in the description. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.